Hello everyone, this is going to be the first video of 2019. Originally it was planned to be the last video of 2018, however, I ran into some difficulties with the rendering during the day and I wasn't able to get the voiceover done at night. Alright, so this is going to be my first little story time video. This is something I want to try out in future videos, so you'll have to let me know what you think of it in the comments below, and don't forget, if you do like this video, to give me a thumbs up and even subscribe to my channel. It's always appreciated and helps me keep motivated to produce more videos for you. Alright, so the topic of this video is my goals for 2019. The reason I say it's a bit of a story time one is that I will be going and giving you a little bit of backstory as to why I have these goals. There's 18 of them in total, which I gave the basics of more than half of them on a New Year's Patreon post yesterday, if you wanted to look at the writing for them by any chance. Alright, so here we go. The first goal I have is one of the most common that you'll see from anybody, and that is to eat healthier. I'm not going to be going on like a full-on diet, forcing myself to try and change my eating patterns overnight. What I'm actually looking to do is just to reduce my sugar intake. I'm not going to cut it out completely. I've done that for a month. The difficult part wasn't the no sugar for the month, but rather it was just simply having to check everything for its sugar content and the extreme amount of planning that went into making sure that I had something to eat that didn't have sugar in it, or at least wasn't the natural sugars anyway, such as that was in fruit. And I've also noticed that I'm having trouble with certain food groups. They cause a lot of digestion issues, so I just want to figure out what those are and cut out completely so that I feel better myself. This is all that there really is to the eating healthier. It's not going to be any major changes, just enough that I'm going to feel better about myself in the end. Alright, so the second goal is another common one. It's to do with exercise, except for me, my goal is to continue walking at least 5 kilometers a week. I know this number isn't much, but I'm still recovering from a broken ankle that occurred in April. It still causes me a lot of pain, and I have to limit how much I do, and it still is prone to swelling as well as discoloration. Another reason for the 5 kilometer a week goal is I have been doing this for almost 2 months now, or at least ever since Pokemon Go introduced the weekly rewards, and I do like being able to at least get that first weekly reward. I know I'm not going to get the 25 kilometer a week one. I'm comfortable with that right now. Maybe in 2020 I'll be able to do that. My third goal pertains to my Twitch and YouTube channels. I'm hoping to come up with a schedule that I can maintain. I was able to do this for a few months last year, however the broken ankle kind of messed with it. I wasn't able to use my setup because I had to keep my ankle elevated, and I couldn't get a good setup with the chair that I was sitting in, and the pain kind of had me out of it for quite a while. Right now I'm looking at a few times a week streaming, probably about 6 or 7 PST to about 9 or 10. On my Twitch channel I will also have random streams throughout the day. It'll be a mixture of both art streams and gaming. Right now I'm working on playing Dragon Quest XI, so I'll be playing that through before I start the next game for my streams. And also for YouTube, I'm thinking probably having a schedule where I upload at least every Monday or Tuesday, possibly eventually get a second day added in. And once again, as mentioned earlier, to do more of the voiceovers for these videos, so you will have to let me know what you think of them. And if you have any ideas at all for voiceover, for story time, anything that you want to hear, just let me know in the comments below. My fourth goal is to not buy art supplies, with a few exceptions. I do have a lot of art supplies. I need to start using what I have before getting new ones, even if it's just to test out the new ones. The exceptions are going to be if I run out of something that I need, I can replace it, and if I need something for a commission, I can get that. Otherwise, no art supplies. This will help with financial issues. Right now, money is really tight, and there's a future point later on to deal with that issue and trying to increase at least the views that my channel gets and everything, possibly monetize channels, but I'll talk about that more later. The fifth goal is to take my coloring book to finally finish doing entirely digital versions of all the artwork, as some of it was inked in by hand, some was inked in digitally. I want to have it all digitally. I want to redo the images so that they look better. If anyone's been watching my Discord, my Patreon, or any of my social media, you will have seen that I have actually done quite a bit of these. I don't have very many left, but I want to have at least 50 images before I move on to the next stage, where I want to actually have these printed professionally. Currently, I use a little coil binding system I have at home to bind the books that I print out onto cardstock paper, and then I've been selling these at like craft fairs or at a local convention. I don't know if I'm even getting into the convention this year, as I haven't heard anything from them yet, and the registration opened up in July, so it's been quite a while. I don't think I'm getting into Artist Alley this year. I will be contacting them, showing them some of my new work, and hopefully that'll help out a bit. Alright, so my sixth goal has to do with something I've been back and forth on for quite a while now. I want to do some writing. My family has been really encouraging me and pushing me towards becoming an author, as it has been a dream of mine since I was in like grade 2. I've always known I wanted to write. And right now it kind of was going back and forth between, do I write a graphic novel, do I write a novel? I couldn't stay set on one for any more than maybe a month at a time. But I think what I'm actually going to do is create a light novel. It combines aspects of a young adult novel with images in it. And these illustrations, a lot of the time there's about 10 to 20 of them in a 200-page book, and I'm looking to have at least 20 illustrations in here, which will become patron rewards. My seventh goal is to revise all the recipes I had in my gluten-free cookbook and to add in new ones. All these new recipes with a little digital recipe card that I've already posted the format online for will become a part of the second volume for this. There will be new recipes. Patrons will get all the recipe cards as a part of the tier that is available to everyone at $2 a month. So my eighth goal now is a big one. It's where you'll see the most change in everything. I haven't really been happy with my art style, and it seems not very many people are either. If I post stuff online, there's usually very little feedback or comments, whether positive or negative, and there's not even constructive criticism really, and it's not really the art style I was interested in to begin with. Like, I do like what I do, but I'm not fully happy with it. I've always loved the style of pop surrealism, so I would like to focus more on this, having a lot more paintings even, where everything falls within a pop surrealist style. and to focus on increasing the quality of the backgrounds that I have with them, as backgrounds have always been difficult for me, so I do need to work on this. And I also love steampunk, cyberpunk, and cybergoth, and anything along those lines. So I want to kind of integrate that into the pop surrealist style. If you look online, there's a lot of really good artists that I love. A couple of them include Happy D Artist, the tattoo artist Kelly Doty, Crystal Mielkerk, I probably pronounced that horribly, of Smushbox, Camilla Derico, who was actually the very first pop surrealist artist I found, and her work I fell in love with immediately, as well as Curtis Reykjavik. The ninth goal has to do with the writing goal, in that to write, you need to read a lot. I've kind of fallen off of reading a lot of books ever since I went back to school, but I graduated in May, so yay, I have a bachelor's degree in psychology. Just had to throw that in there. But I want to start reading at least 2 books a month as a minimum. And then for my 10th goal is to complete 1 personal painting a month on canvas that will be either within the pop surrealism style or include koi fish. I do love painting koi fish and sometimes even Asian style dragons as well. You'll see a few of these pop up here and there in the past. So hopefully you like to see those and look out for those ones in the future. There should be at least one of them a month as a minimum. And then goal number 11 is to complete a minimum of 1 SkillShare lesson every month. Right now it's kind of been one every couple months, and eventually I want to work up to having a SkillShare lesson every 2 weeks. The maximum that you're allowed to do is 1 every week, so I want to aim for at least 1 every 2 weeks. And as much as possible, I will actually use the free shareable code for my patrons within the student tier that I want to set up. That tier will be $5 a month, and for those who pledge that, I will be trying to give them the special codes that Skillshare offers, as they are already a student in a way elsewhere. This ties into goal number 12, which is to increase the quantity and quality of my art on Patreon, and which also has that student tier as I mentioned opening up, which will include 1 tutorial a month, at least 1 form reference sheet a month. Not only do these give me time to practice, but it allows me to share these with everybody else. I'm also going to include the Skillshare stuff here, provided I can still share them. I will be checking on that. I know that there was that in the past. If it's still there, that's where it'll go. As for all patrons, I'm also looking to include 1 recipe card a month from a finalized recipe that has been tested at least 3 or 4 times as a minimum, and all adjustments have been fully made and they work with them, as well as having at least 4 illustrations a month and 1 light novel illustration a month. That will help me work towards completing my goal of writing the light novel within the next year and having all the illustrations done for it. Goal number 13 is actually not to do with art or my channels or anything. It's just to make sure I do the strengthening exercises for my ankle at least once every other day as a minimum, if not every day. It'll all depend on the pain and swelling level. In doing these, I'll actually be able to stream more, work at my computer more, and get more work done. As it is currently, just by sitting at my computer after a couple hours, it starts to swell up and causes a great deal of pain. Goal number 14 is to complete the digital art school program that I started in 2018. I have completed about half of what has currently been released. The digital art school that I'm referring to is the one released on CubeBrush through Mark Burnett. It's so far a really good program, really in-depth, and I got it half off when there was actually only one term released, and I think they're on term 6 or 7 right now. I think there's 6 of them released and waiting on the 7th. Goal number 15 is one you've actually already heard. It's to add more Storytime elements to my YouTube videos and fewer videos that are only music in the background. Goal number 16 I have referred to but not gone in depth on, and this is to work on growing all of my online platforms such as Patreon, Twitch, YouTube, and my social media. The main 3 to focus on are Patreon, Twitch, and YouTube, as I would actually like to have YouTube become monetized at some point and to gain Twitch affiliate. This way I can realize my goal of becoming an artist and not needing any other income. I'd like to be a self-sustaining artist where I can actually get enough of an income through what I create to survive. Goal number 17 isn't really a goal so much as it's just a small little item that I'm adding into all my videos, and this is a little thank you to all of my patrons that I'll be including in every video from now on. This little thank you will include all of their Patreon usernames on it. If they want something other than the username that it gives me, I can modify that as well. And goal number 18 is to organize and budget my time better, to actually use and look at a planner daily, and to track the progress of all my projects. Make sure I'm actually keeping up to date with everything that I need to be doing so that I don't fall behind and stuff doesn't kind of get forgotten and left for another month. So these are all of my goals for 2019. This is actually by far my longest video to date as well. I'm not sure if I'm going to have any other ones that push the 18 to 20 minute mark, but who knows what will happen later on. Anyways, if you like this video, please give me the thumbs up and possibly consider subscribing to my channel and turn on the notifications so you know when the new videos go live. As mentioned before, I will be uploading at least one video a week. It'll be either on Mondays or Tuesdays. I haven't fully decided yet, but watch for them to come out then. If you have any feedback on this, be sure to let me know. Any ideas for future videos, also let me know below. You can also join in on my Discord server, which is going to be linked down below. So thank you for watching this video. I hope you like it, and I will see you in the next one.